Vintage Science Fiction is brought to you by Ashby Navis and Tennyson Media Publisher.
Monsoons of Death by Gerald Vance. This story was published in Amazing Stories, December 1942. The gleaming insignia stripes on Lieutenant Ward Harrison's broad shoulders were less than 2 days old when he received his first assignment. "Lieutenant Harrison," his commanding officer said, glancing from the papers he held in his hands to the young man who stood at attention before his desk. "This will be your first touch of action since you were commissioned. A lot depends on how you handle yourself." "Yes, sir," Ward answered. He straightened his already poker-straight spine. His face was young and serious and intent. There was a blaze of zeal in his blue eyes and grimness in the tightness of his jaw. But a lock of blonde hair that fell over his forehead lent an incongruously boyish cast to his grimly set features. His commander, a planetary colonel with 30 years of void experience behind him, smiled slightly and looked down at the papers in his hands again. "Your training record has been excellent, Harrison," he said, "and I am gratified to note that you apparently realize the seriousness of our work." He leaned back in his chair, looked up at the young lieutenant. "It took science hundreds of years to lick the problems of crossing the void of space to the outer planets. Now that much has been accomplished, the task of exploring and possibly developing and colonizing those planets is ahead of us. The most important part of that work is up to men like you, Lieutenant Harrison. You are attached to the meteorology department with the job of doing the preliminary analysis and exploration on the various planets whose raw materials are essential to Earth. Never for a minute underestimate the importance of that work." Ward cleared his throat. "I won't, sir." "Good. There are other branches of the service that might seem more glamorous, but all of them are dependent on your research and findings. Without meteorological survey, the entire network of space stations we have established would have been impossible."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?